post-run, I would look at a little more down the route of static stretching. And I would work through the whole biomechanical chain, starting with the ankle, so we know where we're starting with, and pretty much work up to the waist, and we can go up further, but for today we're going to stick with the lower limb. So first of all, when we finish run, I mean, again, you can do these pre-run as well. There's a couple that I would do, but yeah, more importantly for post-run, first of all, stretching the calf muscle. Okay, so gastrocnemius, big plantar flexor. We're going to be using it a lot when we are running. What we want to do is, again, use a fence post or a door jamb, door frame. We're going to get our heel as close to the door frame as we can, and we're going to put ourselves up. So we should feel a good, strong stretch through the back of the calf muscle down in this area here. I would hold for 10 to 12 seconds, repeat a couple of times, again, on the other leg. So secondly, I would move into stretching the hamstring. So coming up from the calf, posterior aspect of the leg now, coming into that hamstring. Foot on table, chair, fence, whatever we're using, foot straight up, and we're just going to sit down straight into that hamstring. We can stretch the 3 hamstrings. We can have the foot pointing outwards to stretch the bicep femoris. We can have the foot pointing straight up to stretch the semitendinosus. And we can have the foot pointing inwards ever so slightly to kind of get a little more into the groin, but also the semimembranosus as well. Typically, I would stick with the one straight up if we're going basic, 10 to 12 seconds, relax, do it again. Repeat on the other side. So coming in on the other side now, I move into the quads. Everybody's seen the stretch, footballers, rugby players, very, very basic. We're going to hold on to something so we don't fall over initially. We're going to pull foot up to buttock, and we're going to straighten the back up, try and get the foot to the buttock, try and keep the pelvis straight, and we're going to stretch through that quadricep. Again, 10 to 12 seconds, repeat both legs. So moving on from the quads, I would now move into the hip flexor, the iliopsoas muscle. We're going to come down on one knee, bring the other foot out in front of us. Big step as far as we can, and we're simply going to lean in, and we can use the hand to push the pelvis with us, and we should feel the stretch down from the sort of abdominal region down to the top of the hip there. Holding again, same as the others, 10 to 12 seconds. I would repeat both sides, a couple times on each side. And lastly, for the lower limb, I would look at coming in and stretching the glutes, okay? So seated position, we are simply going to bring one leg over the other, and we're going to hoist knee towards opposite shoulder, up like so, and we should feel a stretch then coming straight down through the glutes, top of the iliotibial band on the outside of the hip, and then deep into the buttock muscles. And again, holding for 10 to 12 seconds. Repeat both legs. So I would leave it there for the lower limb, but there is one other stretch I would generally do myself, and that is to open up the chest. We want the chest to be open. We see a lot of people running, head dropping forward, shoulders rounding, and that causes a lot of stress through the cervical paraspinals, down into the thoracics as well, causing upper back and shoulder pain. The last stretch I would do involves a door frame. Check the link up here. My colleague Alex will go through it with you.